All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to continuing coverage from Radio Row, Super Bowl 60. It's the Seahawks and the Patriots. Here's a former Seahawk over here.
Yeah.
Nate Boyer, great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Great to see
Yeah,
you.
cheers.
What do you think? The Seahawks going to pull it off?
Well, yeah, probably. You know what? I grew up in the Bay here, though, so I grew up a massive 49ers fan.
Oh.
So they
you
are
were mad at
a
Seahawks the other
rival,
day.
but then they gave me
Yeah.
a shot. So, and then they cut me. So, you know, it's a complicated relationship. No,
Yeah.
but I think they are probably the more complete team, and that'd be cool for Sam Darnold. You know, like he's got a cool story.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fact they gave me a shot. The GM, John Schneider, he's about the only person that's still there, and the president, Chuck Arnold.
Oh my God, that's amazing. John Schneider picked you, is that right?
Yeah.
I read he's the
awesome.
first GM ever to have 2 different Super Bowl teams with completely different rosters. That's never happened before.
Yeah, because last year, the final guy hanging on there was Tyler Lockett.
Right.
You know, and I think he was in Tennessee this year, right?
That's right.
Tyler and I were rookies together.
Yeah.
So if that guy was a rookie that year, and he was obviously there's nobody else.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, pretty wild, but
Yeah.
completely different. Yeah, I looked it up. The roster, obviously, Pete Carroll. You know, he's no longer the coach in there, and so
That's right.
everything's different. But
Yep.
Schneid's is the man. He is the one who had to walk up and cut me. You know, that look on his face was I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
He was sadder than I was. He felt so bad.
Yeah, those are tough days.
Yeah.
But you're an NFL alumni forever.
Yeah, right.
You
yeah.
never take it away from you.
Of course.
That's
No,
right.
I'm so grateful to be a part of the alumni, and you know, as short-lived as it was a dream come true. Something I, thought about as a little kid, and I never even played football until I was 29. So to get that shot
Right.
at 34 was pretty incredible. you
Yeah.
know, So
So you, or if people don't know your backstory, you were a Green Beret.
yeah, I was in the Army
And,
for I was a
and
Green
that's
Beret.
what really extended out before you ended up going to the NFL.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like?
I mean,
for
it
you?
was, I didn't go to college right after high school. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I played baseball and basketball in high school, but I wasn't a good enough athlete to get scholarship offers. So I just didn't go because I was like, I don't know what I want to, I don't know who I want to be. And I started working on a fishing boat, did all kinds of random jobs. Then 9/11 happened, and I didn't join right away, but it really started leading me down that road, And I think that search for a sense of purpose and meaning and identity and having a mission, coupled with the fact that we were, deploying lots of troops and things were going on, and that way it just felt like it made sense for me. I didn't have a family. I wasn't leaving anything behind. I wasn't skipping out on college or whatever. So I signed up, and it completely changed me in the sense of it just taught me how to work for something and how to sacrifice, and that anything truly is possible if you just pour all this effort into it, and show up every day and do the reps. Like you can make it happen. And so that transferred into when I finally was ready to go to college, that belief that, maybe I could make the football team. Even though I haven't played, if I learn these skills, maybe I'll just make the team. And then once I make the team, it's like, maybe I can get on the field on special teams, and maybe long snapping. No one wants to do that. It's a thankless job. And it just that's the way it went.
Yeah, and so you've reinvented yourself a number of times. You went into the armed forces, you went to college, played in the NFL, short-lived, but you had to live that life for a little while and then move on. You've been an actor as well.
Yeah.
I think all those experiences led to merging vets and players. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was, getting cut. Having John Schneider deliver that message that was a little tough to swallow in the moment. It was like, I remember waking up the next day and it was, okay, I don't have camouflage anymore in that team room. I don't have a jersey anymore in that locker room. I don't have a reason to go train at 6 a.m. or eat a certain thing or, go to film study or what do I do? I was 34, but I felt like I had a lot left in the tank, and I was,
You're 34.
34, you're a baby, right? Okay, for all you young people, that's still young. And so that was just like, it was kind of that moment of scrambling a bit and that fear of not, like, feeling like you peaked and you'll never be great again, That's a scary thing. People deal with that. Transitions are tough in general. Take sports and the military out of it. They're just hard, And that's where I kind of felt. That's where I felt stuck. And so MVP, I co-founded it with Jay Glazer. who's a Fox NFL analyst, and he'd seen firsthand so many athletes and coaches who struggled when they got fired or cut, or injuries ended their career. And I'd seen that in the military community as well. And we would never compare war to sports, the battlefield, the ball field, completely different places, but so many things were similar. So many connections that were made, and that team, the camaraderie, the structure, the discipline, the uniform. And it's like, it's your identity. And then you just were like, well, who am I now? Those were similar in both. So it was like, why not bring these groups together? They respect each other. They're heroes to each other. And it just kind of made sense. And when we started it, the vets and the athletes really gravitated towards that. They're like, oh yeah, like I get that. That's me.
And they connect together. Is that kind of
exactly
the purpose here, to kind of, hey, it's different things, but we're living kind of similar life paths with one another?
I mean, we meet up in the gym in our chapters around the country, sometimes every week, and we work out together, and then we huddle up after, and it's just open forum, peer to peer. If you got some heavy stuff going on you need to share, let's talk about it. And it's going to stay there on the mat, but like, let's talk through it, because somebody in that room has probably gone through something very similar. It feels the same way that you do. And then it kind of builds also this network of folks that, often become isolated or feel like, oh, no one's going to understand me, so what's the point? Gets them out of their shell. And then they realize more and more they've got stuff in common with other people that have nothing to do with sports or the military community. It kind of breaks that civilian military divide that's pretty common.
Yeah, Jay's been very open about his struggles with mental illness throughout his career. I assume that you kind of relate to that a little bit with him.
Totally.
Working with him.
No, totally. I think it's powerful. I think when athletes, and obviously Jay, who's not he's not a football player, but he's worked in that world. When those people are willing to talk about it and open up about that, I think other people feel more comfortable in normalizing the fact that, like, hey, I don't need to be woe is me all the time. I don't need to be down in the dumps all the time. But when I'm not feeling good or at my best, it's all right to acknowledge it and talk about it, and just kind of, it helps you move past it, and just realize that, like, oh, I'm not alone. Other people feel this. It's totally normal to be sad, to be, to have anxiety, to be depressed from time to time. Like, there's different levels to it, sure, but it's a very common human experience. We're supposed to feel those things. We're also supposed to feel joy and content and, relaxed and calm, all those things also. But that's just part of life, and I think that the more people are open to talk about that, the better.
Yeah, it's incredible work you're doing, Nate.
Yeah,
it was really a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, Nate, tell me about the gala you're hosting in Washington, D.C. in May.
Yeah, May 16th. It's our 4th annual gala. So we do it every year. We did the first 2 in Dallas. Last year was Vegas, and now we've got a chapter in D.C., which is great because obviously, it's the capital of America. A lot of veterans gravitate towards that, but also you've got the Commanders, you've got the Ravens, you've got that whole community, a lot of like football players, athletes, and Coach Quinn, Dan Quinn, when he got fired from the Falcons, he found MVP, and he became a member and started joining our huddles virtually during COVID. And then he joined our board. And then he got hired as the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and he was like, I can no longer be on the board, but I would love to continue to be a part of MVP. And then he got that head coaching job in Washington. He's like, I want to help stand up a chapter here. So since he being there and us opening this chapter there and getting that rolling, it's like it makes sense to do something bigger there and have the gala. In the past, we've had Joe Buck, Randy Couture, and Rob Riggle MC these galas. So we're still trying to figure out that piece. But DQ is going to come speak at it and be a part of it, and it's just awesome for the DC community and for honestly the Commanders community to be on board with that. So, and I've also heard that, I haven't met him yet, but the president of the Commanders is I think he's a West Point guy.
He is, Mark Klaus.
I want to meet. I need to meet.
He's got a really interesting story. He went through West Point, and then his career was basically in corporate branding, like the Campbell's Company, Jack Daniels, like that type of stuff.
Awesome.
And now has moved into what is obviously a very unique time for the Commanders organization as they kind of reinvent, where the organization is going.
Yeah. That's killer. So I mean, we'd love you to come. First of all, I'll extend the invite.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to get in touch with Mark, Mr. Klaus, and get him to come too. But
He'll be there too. I can.
That would be awesome. We'd love to have him. But
Yeah.
Coach Pagano is going to come as well. John Pagano, he'll be
Yeah.
there. I was just talking to him yesterday. So, yeah, we'll figure all that out. But really excited to do it there. It'll be at it'll be at the Wharf. I can't remember the name of the hotel right
Yeah.
now offhand, but it'll be at the Intercontinental, I believe.
Yeah, great.
Down on the Wharf. So that's what it'll be, May 16th. And yeah, it'll be awesome. But it's always fun. It's always a good time. We have a blast and just getting together these vets and athletes and celebrating what MVP is and what it's become, and
Yeah.
kind of celebrating also opening this new chapter in the DC area.
Let me ask you one quick one about Dan Quinn. You
Yeah.
said he got involved after being fired by the Falcons. Was he feeling some of that? Who am I? Where am I?
Absolutely.
Was that what was happening with him?
Absolutely. I remember having a conversation with Coach Quinn offline, and he was like, I got to tell you, Nate, like, it's been so good to be on these calls with these vets and be able to talk to them and meet them, because I was lucky that early in my coaching career, I was just on, I was on staffs that won, and I kept getting promoted, and I was getting the next thing. But he's like, I was always in the back of my head, because he's got a lot of military in his family. He's like, if it doesn't work out, if I get fired or something, I'm just going to join the military,
Huh.
When that happened with the Falcons, he's a bit old. He would have had to get a waiver to join.
Yeah.
But he kind of felt that immediately. He was like, I was so close, and it didn't quite happen. But I mean, I had a great run. But now, like, is it over? Is this it? Like, will I ever get that opportunity again? And you don't know. He went to the Cowboys, got that shot, and then succeeded and exceeded expectations, which got him this shot with the Commanders, of course. But if it didn't work out there, like, you just never know. So
That's right.
I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for them. Like I said, I grew up in the Bay, so I'm a Niners fan. Got a heart for the Seahawks, but I would love to see.
You can be a special guest at Commanders games. You
I'd
come by our
love to
booth.
see
We'd
Coach
love to have
Quinn
you. Yeah.
in a Super Bowl next year down in LA.
Let's do that.
You know what I mean? Let's do that. Let's
Let's
make
do
that
that.
happen.
I'll
It
be
all
there with you.
starts May 16th. No, just kidding.
Nate, it's great seeing you. Thank you,
You
so
too,
much.
brother. Appreciate it.